Hi, this is Kathy Weymouth from Tune the Temple, and I wanted to welcome you to a fireside chat today here between my fire and my piano. And I've been thinking a lot about the weather in Vermont in January. Oh my gosh, it's sometimes brighter when the sun comes out, which is occasional, and or when it snows. Snowing just brings this brightness, but a lot of the times it's just cloudy, overcast, and dreary. And I've been thinking about how the weather affects us in January, and also about all of these New Year's resolutions that people have set, and wondering how people are doing. And I've come to find out over the years that New Year's resolutions often fail after a month or two or three. And I want to just have an honest conversation with you about why does that happen? And have you experienced it yourself? And do you feel terrible about yourself because you haven't kept your New Year's resolutions? Well, it seems like the older people get, the wiser they get in realizing, okay, I don't set them anymore because I've learned that just never works. All right. So anyway, if maybe you're older and wiser, you haven't set any. But let's just talk about this for a second. So I saw that in a survey, about 2/3 of the population feel that they should set New Year's resolutions. And then about 2/3 of the population think that they should set multiple goals for the year. Okay. And then about within a few months, 90% of those are no longer being worked on. Those goals have just gone by the wayside. People have given up. And there's something to this. And I want to just talk about some of the reasons why this happens. Now, one reason why I think we're tempted to set the New Year's resolutions is because it's like this nice change is coming. One year is ending, one season of life is ending, and a new one is about to start. And it just seems like this really great pivotal place. And so it's time to reflect back. It's time to look forward. And so I think that's what motivates us a lot with these New Year's resolutions. But here's some reasons why they actually don't last too long. First of all, when you put a should on yourself, you're putting pressure on yourself, and we often don't do well with shoulds. Okay, just be honest with you. If you think you should embrace more exercise, but your heart's not really into it, but you should, then you're going to make a good attempt at it. And you might do good for a while, but your heart's just not in it. It's more based on shoulds. Okay, so it won't last. To get around that, you might want to just say, if I'm going to set any goals, I got to really make sure they are goals that are really dear to my heart, and that I have the drive to do this. Okay, not a should goal, but more a real desire goal. Okay, so that's one reason why they fail. Number two. So when you decide that you're going to make a change in your life, change is slow, change requires work, and it has to be sustainable. It has to be over the long haul. When you make a change, it needs to last. Like, the worst thing you could do is go on a temporary diet if you want to lose weight, because temporary diets, you change your eating for a season, and then you know that once you're done with your diet because you've lost your weight, or you're sick of your diet and you give up on it, you're going to go back to your eating that you were doing before. And so then you gain the weight back. So one of the things is that this change and this work that's required, it has to be sustainable. It has to be something that you're really going to embrace for your life. For example, to lose weight instead of going on some crazy diet, maybe just decide that you're going to cut back on your portion size and always serve yourself food on a smaller plate, and do that as a lifestyle for the rest of your life. Okay, smaller portions on a smaller plate, one serving. You will eat less. You may lose some weight. It's really very possible you will. Okay, and then a lot of people are setting. So that's the reason number two, is because resolutions require change and they have to be sustainable. And people are usually doing, non-sustainable change. Okay, reason number three that they often fail is that often they're setting goals that are really big lifestyle changes. Okay, and the goal is way too big, and not thought of as smaller steps. of going from here to there, smaller gradual steps, okay? So if you have a goal that is like too big or too many, like just too much, and you want to reach your goal, you want to actually make changes, then don't shoot for big changes. Go for something smaller and sort of set up some milestones or some mini goals that you're gonna shoot for, or and give yourself a little reward when you reach your first mini goal, and then another mini goal. There's so many ideas I can give you on how to make it to be more successful, but I'm really more talking about why they don't work. Okay, so I want to encourage you here, make smaller steps, make sure it's something that you can sustain, reward yourself, and think of it as something that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, or, you know, continually in this mode. Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit more about the fourth reason why New Year's resolutions often fail. And I think this is like amazing. This is insight I got from my integrative medicine doctor. And I was talking to her just about how, like, my schedule becomes so much busier during the school year because besides doing all this, I teach piano lessons, which most students are not taking them in the summer. My summers are a little lighter. And how I have all of this work as a senior citizen, I have all this work, and it's all during the school year, more the fall, winter, and spring months, and how tired I'm getting and how I find it to be overwhelming. And she made a really good point that my workload is not following the seasons in a way that would be beneficial to me. So what is going on in nature right now, and how am I aligning with it? Well, basically, I'm doing the opposite of what nature's doing. I live in Vermont. The days are short. When we change the clocks, it's now dark at 4:30 in the afternoon. Luckily now it's getting a little bit later and later, but the days are very short. The animals here, what are they doing? I mean, I haven't seen the beavers out. I do see the deer, but the bear tend to do this hibernating. The beavers do a sort of hibernating where they're in their beaver lodges and they're occasionally going out to swim. They're not a total hibernation. But my point is that in nature in Vermont, where I live, this is shutdown time. January is shutdown time. You know what? If you want to set a New Year's resolution that aligns with nature, set a New Year's resolution of getting more rest, maybe more sleep, pampering yourself more, and then see if that New Year's resolution, if you're more successful with it. Okay, because in the middle of the winter, you do not have a lot of energy in comparison to when spring comes. Notice how you get energy when the flowers start to come out and there's more sunshine and there's energy that comes with spring. So if you want to embrace a really, a change in your life, embrace a new habit that requires energy, wait until spring. Don't do it now. Align with the nature. I'm looking outside in the other window. Align with nature. Do what nature's doing and match your seasons of change with what the seasons are doing in nature. And you'll find a lot more success. I think this is brilliant. I think that's why it's important that you understand. I'm sitting by the fire. I still have my pajamas on. It's a Saturday afternoon. I'm chilling and chatting with you, talking about not spending a lot of energy today. We did go for a walk, but this is the season to sit by the fire. This is the season to have a cup of tea and just sort of hunker down. So maybe you can give yourself a break. Don't put so many shoulds on yourself and allow yourself to just align with the seasons and match your habit changes with what nature is doing. Okay, so this is Kathy Weymouth from tunethetemple.com. I hope that gives you some insight and some permission to sort of just chill. Oh, I have to tell you, I told my physical therapist, I'm really not doing very well doing my PT exercises for my leg. And I said, but you know what? I shouldn't have started PT in January. It's not a good time to start doing something that requires energy And he just laughed. He said, "That's great. That's good. Gives me an excuse for not doing the things I'm supposed to be doing with his business." And I'm like, "Yeah, you have permission. It's January. It's time to hibernate. Don't work so hard." So anyway, all right. I hope that just helps you and gives you a little bit of encouragement. And don't feel bad if your New Year's resolution has already failed. It's okay. 90% of them do. They don't work too well in January. Set a different time. Okay, bye.